Alright guys, if you've seen this video before, this is not a re-upload. I decided since I was going through my videos, I'd redo this entire video. So first, we're pretty much going to draw, I'm going to say 3 lines of a box. Kind of slanted at an angle. And to make sure you get the 2 ends right, always use your ruler and come over. Just simply slide, that way your angles match. You gotta be careful from sliding it. I am a perfectionist to the best of my abilities, and I hate it when I get the angles wrong. So now you want to bring your ruler to the bottom line, come up some, just draw another line all the way across. Then you want to come up to the top 2, draw another line so you'll complete your box. We'll come back to this part a little bit later. Okay, now on this side, on this side, you want to connect the 2 lines, and as we did before, you want to get them at the same angle. So you should have something that looks like this. Now for the bottom, go ahead and I say come in about halfway. I mean a third of each way from both ends. Make 2 little light lines, and right here at the edge you want to start your triangle. And then you want to do both ends to a point, like so. Now at the bottom of your triangle, you simply want to make a square. This is the basis for the spur itself. So in the bottom left, draw a line that goes to the bottom right. Once you do that, simply erase the other half of the square. And if you need to take your time with the video, pause it. Give me feedback. Someone once said the OKC video is a little too difficult, and I try to minimize that to its best. Now that we have this triangle, you want to make another miniature triangle in this one. I'm going to darken it for you guys. And then I'm simply going to erase this line right here. So now you have your first triangle. Now for your second one, you won't need a square. You can just simply draw a triangle intersecting it. And don't really cap it off. I mean, you can if you need to do little guidelines, but I'm going to do it so just for the sake of the video. I'm going to bring them up right here. So pretty much you come up with an arrow shape. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but you could pretty much play around with it to get it to the shape that you want it to be. As long as people know what they're looking at, you're doing a good job. Especially for those who normally don't draw all the time like I do. So darken this a little bit. And now we're going to go to the top. Now this part of the logo, I need you to pay very close attention to. Simply take your ruler, come back to the top, and then come up some. You want to focus on the bottom of your ruler. Notice this. Notice how it stops right here. If you need to erase this line, go ahead. But for sake of time, I will do that later. And you want to draw a short line like so to match this line right there. So go ahead, do that, and then do the opposite on the other end. So you should have something like that. Now, take your ruler, put it vertical, and this corner right here is going to connect to this line right here. If you need to extend your line, go ahead and do so. And we're going to do the same on both sides. Just come straight up. I'm going to make sure I match both ends to the best of my ability. And I'll go ahead and erase. So, if you've been following so far and you got as far as I have, go ahead and erase these two lines and this line and any other guidelines that you do not need. Your logo should look like this. Now we're going to go back to the top and we're going to finish off the top of the spur. So simply take your ruler, put it at an angle, start at this corner and just come out some. You don't have to go out too far. I'm just making the top ends of the box. So it should look like this. Then do the same on the other side. Like so. Then mimic what you did over here on this side. Once you have those lines, place your ruler to match these two. I'm going to come up and then figure out, depending on how long you drew it, where you need to stop it at. And it should look like this. So it kind of looks kind of bent a little bit like part of a box. Okay, now we're going to draw the outside of the logo because the Spurs logo looks partly three-dimensional and two-dimensional. So to achieve this shape, I want you to come to this corner here first. And draw a line. Don't make it too long, don't make it too short. Find what you think is best for your poster. After you do that, come over here. Take note of this corner. Draw another line. Make sure you're drawing lightly. So you should have something that looks like this. Then take your ruler, match it up with this line right here. I like to place mine come down some, and I might cut off part of mine, but that's okay, and line it up. Once you've done that, take your ruler, line it up with this one, come down and match with this corner right here, and just come across. Make sure you do not go over your triangle area that you did earlier, and you want to pretty much stop a little bit before you get to this corner so you don't overshoot. I'm going to take my ruler and match this line with these two, with this corner and the edge of the last line I just drew, and then connect them. Let me go ahead and fix this line just a little bit. Now, for this end, line your ruler up with this line right here. Go all the way over until you have, I say, about this much space left, and you want to come up some, and it should look like this. Now we're gonna have to make sure that this right here matches over here. So take your ruler and pretty much you want to get to the point of this corner. So once you get to the point of the corner, come over here, make like a little mark. Let me zoom in so you see that. There's my mark. Then I'm going to connect my mark and this point together. And looking at my reference material, it is slightly off. So I will go and fix this line by pretty much redrawing it at a slightly different angle. And you may have to do this a few times, that's okay. So, if you've been following along, you should be at this point now. So, we're going to finish this off. Simply make a circle here in the middle, like so. And we're going to outline the rest of this. But before we get to the, I guess, the star part, that's what I call it, we're going to come over here to this side of the spur. You want to make this line kind of thin compared to this side to give the illusion that it's further away. You don't have to worry about connecting it because all this right here is going to be black. Then I'm going to come to the other side and make it significantly larger. Make sure you're not lined up with this completely, because that'll be completely wrong. Just make sure that you focus on this corner down here. Let me zoom in for you. Pay attention to this corner right here, have your ruler, and you want to start from there. And I say figure out how far over you need to go. So I think this right here is fine so far. So I'll just come out like so. Go ahead and erase the lines I do not want or need. Looks a little big, so I'm gonna go ahead and fix mine, and that's fine. There's almost no such thing as getting everything perfect in art. That is objectable. So what looks good to me may not look good to somebody else. So I go ahead and erase that line. Then you should have something that looks like this. And for your star, I suggest, for those who normally don't draw, go ahead, use your ruler to make sure that each part of it is even, so you can draw long straight lines, and just pretty much you want to draw like an outline. After you finish all your lines, you should be at this point. If not, go ahead, rewind the video if you need to. Leave a comment below. Tell me what part was you had most difficulty on. Leave a request of what team you want to get to next, and I'll try to fit it into my schedule. Now, for those who are actually making a poster for the first time, you want to get like a bed marker, like maybe like a Sharpie for your black, but since I'm working on paper, I'm going to be using my multi-liner pen, and I'm going to be using my black Copic marker 100. And for those who want Copic markers, I'll leave a link in the description below, and then you can look at the website. I get mine from Hobby Lobby. They're usually $7.99, but I get mine for around $4. And what I do is I'll go to the website with my smartphone, actually my girlfriend's smartphone. I have a flip phone still, and go to coupons and get 40% off. But the catch is you can only do this with your cheapest item. So I only get a Copic marker, and then I hand her cash, and then she'll get another one for me. So I get 2 for the price of 1. Because I used to do it with the same card, just do multiple transactions, but they stopped that. So thank you for tuning in, and share my videos, subscribe, and I will be back with more tutorials.